And so I sent that to you, and then you responded with, yeah, why isn't the Mariners mascot a bloody adult baby? And I was like, does anyone know? Anyone know why we didn't pick that guy to be the mascot for the Mariners? Hey, by the way, Mariners organizations, it's never too late.
Never too late. The number one hat problem is hothead.
Welcome to Text Me Back podcast. The only podcast, that's right, we're restaking our claim as the only podcast. And the only podcast brave enough to call out the best friend industrial complex. Okay?
And the only podcast brave enough to wear a hat.
Hat. That's right. Listeners and audio watchers. The visual. Listen. Yep. Mm-hmm. You guys know what I'm talking about. Next segment. No, this explanation is for the audio listeners. I'm wearing a hat.
Today, it's Meagan who is hat.
I'm the one wearing the hat. It is a new hat that I purchased after the Mariners won Game 5 of the ALDS because I was too scared to buy it. For some reason, I thought buying the hat would thwart our chances to win the division. Know. You really don't, you know. Well, they always say, on the one hand, you could never go back in time because if you disrupt a single butterfly's wing,
yeah,
you know, they'll never discover penicillin or whatever.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, they say, doesn't matter what hat you wear.
Right.
To the game, that does the outcome of the game doesn't have anything to do with you. Which is it, science?
Yeah, that is such a legit question based in science.
Like Dr. Emmett Brown? Been real quiet since I asked that question. Anyways, this hat I bought is really cute, and they have it for all baseball teams. So if you're not a Seattle Mariners fan, by the way, they're not paying me to do this. I know I've already influenced 2 people to buy it. So if 47 brand, if you're listening, give me some money.
Is the graphic on your hat an upside down Mariners hat filled with poop?
Yes. Now, why would it be poop? Now, why? Why would it be poop?
It's shaped like poop.
It's shaped like ice cream. And
a swirly soft serve.
In
That's right.
a commemorative hat.
That's right. A plastic hat. Yes.
For people who have never been to a baseball game, first of all, you should go. They're really fun. Sort of. They're really long and stressful.
The chairs? ? Not comfortable.
Nobody's ass fit in those bad boys. I'll tell you what. But anyways, you can get a little plastic batter's helmet and they fill it up with ice cream. And I have a Washington Nationals one. I went to a Nationals game. This was like a couple years ago now. And I was like, I wonder if they still have those batter's helmets with the ice cream inside. And they absolutely do, gang. So that is what my hat is. It is a helmet with ice cream inside.
Meagan, I got to come clean about something.
Go on.
I knew it was ice cream.
Oh, you were being rude?
Well, here was my thought process.
You've never been rude before.
Here was my thought process. Is that poop? Because it looks like it slightly resembles
a little
the poop
swirl
emoji,
Sure.
I say, is that poop? Ha 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 ha. This is all inside my head. Ha 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 ha. Is that poop? And then I was like, no, it's probably ice cream. And then I was like, but why would ice cream be in a hat? But then I was like, why would poop be in a hat?
Now, why would poop be in a hat?
And then as soon as you started talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, I have seen those little plastic hats
when we were younger at the Kingdom, they used to have these, and they tasted amazing, these like carnation chocolate malts. Here was the downside of the chocolate malts is that they only served them to you with like a dry, brittle wooden Not even a spoon. I wouldn't even call it a spoon. It was just a stick. And you had to eat, eat this nectar of the gods, the nectar of Carnation, Washington.
Dude.
You'd have to eat these things with a dry fucking sliver.
Yeah.
You're immediately getting slivers all on your tongue and cheeks and mouth. And you're like, but the malt is so good.
Yeah. But somehow the taste of the wood would overpower the taste of the malt.
Somehow the texture of the wood would dry out your whole mouth, which necessitated eating more malt. But there was no way to get the malt. Why did they do that?
I can't believe you brought up the Carnation malt. Chocolate malt in a cup, because I totally forgot about that. That was one of my favorite things as a child. And I want to say that they sold them in the lunchroom at Washington Middle School.
I wouldn't be surprised. I
I feel like I remember being like, I can get what for $1 at school?
Guess how many dollars I have? Like 3 at most.
Like, because I remember feeling like I was really getting away with something because it's big. It's bigger than a little ice cream cup.
Yeah, it's like an 8-ounce cup. It's a lot. I mean, it was a lot of malt.
A lot. That's not a 4-ounce creamsicle cup, you know?
And it wasn't just like chocolate. It wasn't like a chocolate milkshake. I feel like people are going to be listening to this being like, big whoop at chocolate. No, there was something else about it. It had something else going on. Like there was something in there that was really intoxicating. So, but they didn't have that on a hat. So I got my Batter's helmet with ice cream. Yes, bad news. We're still talking about baseball.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And this isn't the end of it because we have a whole segment about it, don't we? Are you doing an update?
We certainly are, unfortunately. Just to quick spoiler alert, we are recording this Thursday, October 16th at 3:22 p.m. So I do not know what happens in Game 4 or Game 5. Or potentially, and if there's a benevolent God, it will not come to this. I do not know what happens in Game 6 or 7. But hopefully that we don't need those. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. First, here's what we are going to talk about. We're going to talk about what you're watching. We haven't done a little what you're watching in a while. And it's not because we stopped watching. Baby, baby, we never stop watching. Like, get a grip. But we're going to talk about a Netflix documentary that we both watched. And I think potentially have, maybe not, I doubt we disagree, but we might have some competing conclusions or something. So stay tuned for that.
But I think we might have conclusions. I think we might have come to similar conclusions that go against the mainstream conclusion.
I think that might be right.
Yeah. Okay. Which is rare. I feel like usually, I don't know, people concur.
Yeah.
When there's like an outrageous documentary.
Yeah. This is a good cliffhanger. People are like, oh my God, I can hardly wait to find out what you're talking about.
People are going to be like, Lindy and Meagan are pro BTK killer?
What? They like that crazy neighbor? They caused the poop cruise?
Lindy and Meagan were in the balloon with Balloon Boy?
What?
No, not even instead of Balloon Boy.
His name's Falcon.
Yeah.
Falcon, he has a name of a scammer. That whole family does. Yeah. Good for them. Anyways, so we're going to talk about what we're watching.
Yep.
But first, I don't have the song ready. Devastating turn of events. We could talk about Jingle Bells again.
If only there was someone here to help you.
Oh, we're going to do a tidings. Lindy, what's all going on?
Have I ever had a drama-filled week, Megs? Okay. So, I live in the woods. Female woodsman, famously. I have a dog.
Yes.
His name's Barry.
Many are familiar.
Yes.
Copper Prince, Pumpkin Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's his season. Pumpkin season. My butterscotch boy. So on Saturday, my butterscotch boy, we took him to the beach. He swam, he retrieved sticks. He had the time of his life. On the way home, Aham and Roya, now when traveling uphill, Aham and Roya move, I would say 4 to 10 times faster than me. So I can keep up on the way down. On the way back, I said, "You guys go ahead. You guys go ahead. It's fine."
You're more of a downhill girly.
That's right. Oh, when people go into that fucking shtick that people love, which, by the way, hashtag virtue signaling. People love to be like, actually, downhill is harder for me because it's so hard on my knees.
Oh, owie wowie.
I actually prefer walking uphill. Shut up. We get it. You're
can I say
fucking thin.
I thought you were gonna say this is so stupid. I thought you were gonna say, "Oh, I hate it when people start saying, 'Oh, I love walking downhill. It's like going south.'"
Excuse me?
The reverse of that thing Treebeard says to Marion. He says, "I love walking south. It feels like walking downhill." And I thought you were going to be like, "I hate it when..."
That would be a crazy thing to say, Megan.
Yes, but it's not the craziest thing that we've ever both thought at the same time.
You're so right.
That's not even in the top 10 of the craziest things we've both thought at the same time.
Now I'm sad. I wish that was what I had been thinking.
Anyways, what happened to Barry?
And look, I understand that walking downhill does hurt your joints. Hurts my knees as well. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
However, it's not worse than walking uphill.
Unless you have some sort of like insane ass with
sure
like that. But who is that?
But then you're just bragging to me about your insane ass, which is the issue that I have.
Please give me a break.
Keep it to yourself.
I'm going through enough right now. All right.
I don't need to hear exactly. About it. Okay. So,
frickin' Suzanne Summers over here.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Take a hike.
Literally.
So, gosh.
Gosh. Hey, do you guys hear what they talk about on Text Me Back podcast? They did 45 minutes on Downhill and another hour on Goofy.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no.
Sorry, what happened?
Okay. Hello, Goofy.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Actually, that one I kind of like.
Thank you.
I like that one, yeah.
So, sometimes I get too self-conscious when people are having to wait for me. So I just say, go ahead. And also, like, very busy week over here at the West Oluo Amir Soleimani household. I was like, you guys just go back home and do your work or whatever. I will slowly trudge with the dog. So Barry and I are heading up very slowly. Barry at one point stops and does a massive diarrhea.
Oh.
When I was like, that doesn't seem good. We're gonna have to hose off his ass.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
One of the worst.
Oh
yeah.
So we get home, and then he seems fine. He's very tired, but he had just done a big exercise, so who knows? Then on Saturday, he didn't want to eat his breakfast, and in fact, he refused to eat it.
Oh,
and I there's this game that we play with Barry where. That he loves, where he pretends like he doesn't want to eat his food, and then we go over and Aham will actually get down on his hands and knees and pretend to steal Barry's food and go and then Barry will run over and be like, "No, it's mine.
I was just kidding."
So we managed to get him to eat like a third of his breakfast by doing the game. I went upstairs to work up here.
Yeah.
I received a word from Roya that Barry has thrown up.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So he like immediately threw up his breakfast. She took him on a walk. He had diarrhea again.
Ooh.
I'm like, uh-oh.
That's not good.
Then he comes home again, drinks a bunch of water, immediately goes outside and throws up the water.
Oh.
I was like, that's not good. Then it was raining. It's now become like evening. he goes, he's just lying in the corner of the yard in the dark, in the rain, refusing to come inside.
Oh, Barry, can I just say, you sent me a text message keeping me posted about what was going on here. And this was the text message you sent me. Guess who stopped being able to keep food or water down for 2 days while also having diarrhea and lying in the corner of the yard in the dark and the rain and refusing to move? Then finally going to the ER 45 minutes away at 8 p.m. last night and being admitted to the hospital. And then $4,500 later, the diagnosis is, I don't know. And I read this whole thing thinking, Lindy's in the hospital? And why was she in the yard? I was like, she had gastrointestinal distress so severe that she's like, I can't even go inside. If I go in there, the whole house will be ruined. And then finally, at the very end, it says, then $4,500 later, the diagnosis is IDK. He seems fine now. And I was like, oh, it's Barry. Oh my God. But for like a whole paragraph, I was like, Lindy, oh my God. I was so scared. I was like, is it appendicitis? What is this? And why are you in the yard? It was so stressful.
The idea that the thought of me lying on the grass in the corner of the yard in the dark in the rain is
just
so
in the fetal
funny.
position, like this is the only thing that feels good.
And like then my family would let me do that for any amount of time.
Roya in particular just being like, okay, I'll just leave you there. That seems like something I would do. But it just was like, that was the second text message you sent me that weekend.
Yeah.
Where I didn't understand at first what was happening. Like you had also previously sent me a text message being like, oh, I'm at the Jefferson County Fiber Festival. And I was like, Fiber Festival? and really, truly for like a full 90 seconds, I was like, well, yeah, I mean, we're getting older. And it's important to get things moving, you know, little Metamucil for that ass, literally. And then I was like, Yarn. That makes a lot more sense.
Yarn.
So,
actually, that's I wasn't up here working. I was at the Fiber Festival when Barry started his puking.
And so you can see in my mind where these two things kind of connected to cause.
Sure. Sure. That's why I had to lie in the corner of the yard. I had too much fiber.
Too much fiber at the Fiber Festival.
So very quickly, when I found out that he had been puking and diarrheaing all day and then was refusing to come inside, I was like, okay, I got to take my son to the emergency vet, which is 45 minutes away from our house. And I knew going in, because a mother knows.
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be one of those things where I paid $10,000.
Correct.
And we never figure out what it was.
Yeah.
And he just gets some fluids.
Yeah.
For another $9,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just have to take him home.
Correct.
I was like, there's a small chance that he has eaten something and he has an obstruction and then he'll have to have surgery or whatever. So I can't not take him. If he can't keep water down,
you don't want to have regrets over something, even if you're like 98% sure it's something stupid. You know?
Yeah. It's not that it wasn't real, because he was definitely really sick. Yeah. It's just I'm a mystery solver, and I'm annoyed when I don't like unsolved mysteries.
Yeah.
It's irritating. So anyway, I took him to the hospital. They're so nice, by the way. The emergency vet in Paulsbo, if you're ever looking for one.
Hopefully you're not.
Hopefully you're not. I hope you never have to go there, but they're so nice. They have a Keurig complimentary for the humans. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we waited like a couple hours, and then they brought him in, asked me a bunch of questions. And they were like, okay, well, we'd like to admit him, give him some fluids, do some x-rays and some tests and whatever, and see what happens. Is that okay? They were like, you can take him home if you want, but we don't recommend it. I was like, okay.
No, he can stay here with you guys.
And, you have to pay up front. So I paid $4,500, which I only have because I just got paid for my book. So like
pre-order adult braces now, coming out March 10th, 2026. Thank you,
Now,
Barry, wherever you buy your books, but not Amazon.com. Thank you.
And also, so praise Jesus for helping me write my book. We praise him.
We praise capital HIM.
Yeah, but also praise Roya, who joined this family, and she
Very
said
similar vibes. Very similar vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she said she joined this family. She said, "You guys don't have pet insurance? And
You guys don't have human insurance?
We do right now.
You guys don't have a savings account, or
well, we do now.
We do now. She just did a whole audit of your life, basically, and was like, "Oh God, I'm not entering this until we get the paperwork under control."
So she said, "Click, clack, tappity, tappity." She signed us up for pet insurance. Pets Best. If you're listening, feel free to sponsor the show and
give us a call.
I would say since she signed us up for pet insurance, Barry has cost over $10,000 for sure.
Yeah.
And they have reimbursed me every time.
Nice.
Sending a check. Ooh, yum, yum. So I haven't submitted this yet, but hopefully.
I'm sure they'll cover it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how is Barry doing now? Yeah.
So then he stayed overnight. They call me in the morning. They're like, the doctor sounds disturbed.
Yeah.
And she basically tells me he's doing okay. However, a new bombshell has entered the villa. And her name is Bloody Diarrhea.
Oh.
So I was like, what? She was like, we didn't see anything on the x-rays. None of his tests have come back. Like, he doesn't have pancreatitis or whatever, but we want to keep him another night. I was like,
oh, hell yeah, keep him another night. Jeez.
No, I was like so sad.
Yeah.
And I said to Aham, like Aham and I were watching TV, and I was like, just kind of being pouty and mopey. And I was like, I think I might go for a walk down to the ravine to visit the shrew, since we don't have a pet anymore.
Oh my God.
He was like, what do you mean we don't have a pet anymore?
He's alive.
I was like, I gotta go see my other son, who's out living independently in the big city. Anyway,
good for him. Fievel goes west to the ravine.
Fievel goes south. Parentheses downhill. So anyway, so they kept him another night. They kept him on fluids. He was still throwing up. They were giving him little meals. Then on Monday, they were like, okay, he kept a little bit of food down. You can come get him. And so I did. And they were like, I said, Doc, what's the diagnosis? They said question mark.
Yeah. And that's all it's ever going to be. But
yep. His fecal panel had not come back yet.
Oh.
So I guess maybe it'll say tapeworm or something. But they were like, he probably just like licked something nasty.
Yeah. That
threw off his gut bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, dogs aren't like people. Sometimes dogs just have bloody diarrhea. I was like, great.
What?
I mean, I think they were like, the dog's guts are temperamental, and they will jump straight to bloody diarrhea, even if they're just a little bit perturbed.
My God. I just feel like, once again, how is anything living in the wild?
Meagan.
I don't really get it. I don't really understand how anyone's pulling that off.
It's like, that must be why all these animals can get pregnant when they're one.
Yeah.
You got to get the reproduction out of the way, because your
kittens sometimes, even like actual like cats, like are still technically kittens sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Kittens having kittens.
Kittens having kittens. Where are the fathers?
How did we evolve to do it so late?
I don't know, man. It's like one of those things where I'm like, sorry to say it, but maybe the design is intelligent.
Oh
Because what the fuck? What do you mean? How is this happening? But I know it's not. I know.
Oh, do you hear what they said on Text Me Up podcast this week? Lindy said Jesus Christ wrote her book. Megan said she believes in intelligent design.
They did 45 minutes on teaching the controversy.
Lindy implied that humans should be able to get pregnant when they're babies. Then Megan countered with the idea that we're fearfully and beautifully made.
Oh God! Someone help me. But he's okay now. Bowie, baby.
He's still being a little
Who
weird.
could say? Yeah,
He's on like 9 medications.
Mhm.
Yesterday.
Good for him.
Yeah, I know. He's just eating chicken and rice. He loves
Nice.
that. But I'm reintroducing the kibble. Yesterday, he munched everything. This morning, he only ate half his breakfast again. I don't freaking know, Megs. I don't know.
He'll be fine. He's fine.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He really wants to play Frisbee, but he's on
Not
bed rest.
allowed.
Nope.
Frisbee is not allowed on Delta flights. Anyway, sorry, that lady saying not allowed and doing that little finger wag has been stuck in my cranium since I believe Dan Savage posted it on Slog in 2006. So thank you. Anyway, get well soon, Barry.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
And sorry I made you think it was me.
It's
but
okay.
You know what, Megan? My diarrhea is blood free. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
and people subscribe to this. It's so interesting. Do you want to hear my tiding? Unfortunately,
Is it about baseball?
Baseball. Which is why I'm wearing my hat. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I do.
The same thing that happened last week is kind of happening right now. It's Thursday, as I mentioned. It's like a few hours before Game 4 starts. I don't know what happens. I'm stressed out to like the maximum possible degree because just as like a general rule, I don't like it when things happen outside of my zone of control. You know what I mean? I want to be able to know for sure whether or not something's going to get done. And if I'm in charge of it, it'll either get done or not. But either way, it was because of me.
That's all. That's all true. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And yet I don't play for the Mariners. I don't work for the organization. For some reason, they haven't called me up from AAA to like hit a few. Yet. Okay. Anything's possible. So I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm very stressed. Last night was Wednesday, and they lost real bad. They lost 13-4.
Yeah.
I am blaming David Matthews for this because he was present at the game. We were texting Sam Irby because she was watching. She's rooting for the Mariners, by the way. And I was like, Sammy, look who's at the game. And she, of course, was delighted. And I was like, they lost it. It's his fault. And now we're in a blood feud. But you understand where I'm coming from with this.
You know what probably happened? He woke up in the morning, brought some bad luck to the baseball game.
He did not put on his lucky hat, David.
He probably brought all of his ants.
The ants got in the player's pants. And then they played bad. Anyway,
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Sports radio, we figured it out. Anyway, so I've just been thinking, well, and also, it's, the thing about sports is it's not just about the game. It's like you get nostalgic for your city and you feel a lot of things for I don't know. I don't live there anymore. So I'm feeling very far away from Seattle right now, which is making me a little bit sad. I've been very emotional because it's like, oh, the Mariners, they've never been to the World Series. Like everything is making me cry. That Dave Niehaus call from the ALDS in 1995 is making me cry. By the way, while we're on the topic, that fucking Macklemore song is making a comeback because I don't even talking about it makes me want to lie in the fetal position in my yard in the rain.
Do you mean the Dave Niehaus one?
Yes. So he has like some tribute song to Dave Niehaus where he just Macklemore narrates Dave Niehaus's game-winning call. Why do we need that? If I wanted to listen to Dave Niehaus make that call, I would listen to Dave Niehaus make that call. Why does this weirdo have to play the audio of Dave Niehaus calling the game and then narrate to me what happened at the end of the game. I was there, man. So was Dave Niehaus. He won an award.
Can I propose an alternate hypothesis for why we lost? Someone claims to have a lot of nostalgia for Seattle, and yet, just in the first 3 minutes of this podcast segment has besmirched 2 of Seattle's most beloved icons.
First of all, Mr. David Matthews is from North Carolina.
He lives in Seattle.
He's not from there. Okay?
I saw him 20 years ago pushing a stroller in Wallingford.
Maybe his kids can stake a claim. That's fine. Okay. Anyways, so now that song is making a comeback. I can't escape it. And yet I'm just walking around my house crying because I'm like, this would mean so much to me. It would be so much to the city. Ichiro would cry. Ken Griffey would cry. Whatever. Then on top of that, D'Angelo passes away.
Oh my God.
And I'm like freaking despondent over that. So just a real quick side note. The first thing I thought of was this performance D'Angelo did after Prince died. And I'm sorry to say it was on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, but I think we can forgive in this particular instance. And he sings a version of Sometimes It Snows in April with Maya Rudolph's all-girl Prince cover band, Princess. And it's the most beautiful. It's so beautiful. His voice is a little bit shaky because he's like very sad. So I'm watching that every day and crying and thinking about the Mariners and crying. Like D'Angelo starts crying during the song and I'm like, and there's this line that's like, sometimes it hurts so bad. Sometimes I wish that life was never ending, but all good things they say never last. And it fucks me up every time.
Yeah.
So I'm like walking around in my ice cream hat crying.
Let me ask you a question. If D'Angelo had made the song about Dave Niehaus.
That's a different situation entirely.
And it was exactly the same.
Well, he would never make something so shitty. So I don't even accept the premise of the question. He would never make something so bad and dumb and unnecessary. Anyways, I just feel like I'm bullying Macklemore. It's not fair.
And yet we're talking about it.
I can't. Please cut all of this out. People are allowed to like what they like. I'm on a like what they like journey. Why am I being so mean?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
If that song means something to you, then that means something to me. And we're all in this together. But never has the credo being around annoying people is the price you have to pay for a democracy. It never has that been more true than in the context of the existence of Macklemore. Okay? So I'm putting up with it. It's fine. Anyways.
Nice guy.
I'm sure he's really nice. We went to high school together, so I don't recall him being a dick. Anyway, so been on a big Mariner kick. I've just been like Googling. I somehow got in my mind that I was like, I wonder like what's the Moose's deal? I think you might have texted me being like, does the Moose have a name? And I was like, I'm sure he does. I feel like I just looked this up, but I feel like he does. And now I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, as you know, I'm an animal head, so I'm always thinking about the wildlife.
Of course.
And I was thinking to myself, we don't even have moose. We don't have moose
exactly.
Here.
I know. In fact, I think I had gone on a very similar mental journey, like maybe 48 hours before you had asked me. So I was like prepared because I was like, why is it a moose? We don't have that in Washington. I was like, what idiot came up with moose? And I was like, I bet you. And then I thought, I bet they had a contest, and I bet one of our idiot peers picked moose. And in fact, that's exactly what happened. One of our idiot peers from Bellingham, Washington, in a contest was like, you should have it be a moose. And the Mariners organization was like, yeah, sure. Here's $1,000 for coming up with that.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Where
Bellingham.
were we? This was in like 1992.
Yeah, I was 10. We should have been involved.
The kid was the same age as us, I think.
Probably.
Why? I feel like we could have come up with something better than moose. First of all, for me, Old Sea Captain is what I would have submitted. The Gorton's Fisherman.
Any Norwegian would have worked.
My grandpa Ole, the Seattle Mariners grandpa Ole's.
Hello. So anyway, so I looked it up. First of all, to answer your question, the moose's first name is Mortimer.
Of course.
Duh. Like, I can't even believe I have to tell you guys this. But I've unfortunately, Lindy, uncovered some, as you know, fascinating, deep cut Seattle history about the Mariner mascot journey, because it hasn't always been the Moose. The Mariners were born in 1977, and the Moose only came around in 1992-ish. So, like, what all was going on in those intervening years? So I was like, I wonder what was going on. Folks, prior to the Moose, the Mariners mascot was just a guy in like a disco suit on stilts with a space needle for a head. And his name was Spacey, the Space Needle. And he was the Mariners mascot. And this came across my TikTok, a video of him came across my TikTok, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I consider myself, like, to a degree, a Seattle old head. And I've never heard of this man in my life, ever heard of this man in my life. So I look it up. And similarly, Spacey the Space Needle was kind of the result of a citywide contest where they were trying to figure out, like, if this was like 1979 and the Mariners didn't have a mascot, but like MLB mascots were still, seems like kind of in their infancy. Yeah. So like San Diego had a dancing chicken, which apparently was like taking the nation by storm. So like back when we had monoculture, I think it's really saying something if like a local dancing chicken becomes national news. Like, that was pretty impressive feat back in 1979, you know?
Yeah, they were like probably big, yellow, made out of foam. Mm-hmm. Three talons.
Absolutely.
Pretty impressive feat on the chicken mascot. Maybe.
Okay. I think we got it. Anyways, so at first the Mariners, and this is such a Seattle thing to do, is just be like, maybe we should glom onto something a bigger city is doing because we have an inferiority complex. Yeah.
Yeah. Always.
So they invited the San Diego chicken to come up and like appear at the games. And then I guess that it's really unclear from this article I found on Cairo. It's kind of unclear, but it seems like the chicken got too popular in Washington. And then the chicken was like, you need to find it. I'm out. Like, because I'm booking gigs in Yakima now. So like, like I'm leaving. And so you have to like find your own guys. So like the Mariners PR people were like, oh, Jesus, I guess we'll have like a citywide contest and see if we can find a guy to be the mascot. Like if somebody has like a good idea for a mascot. By the way, I was telling you about Spacey and your first response was, I wonder if my dad knew him.
Just feels like he would.
Just really seems like somebody Paul West would know.
Well, you know, my dad dressed up as the creature of from the Black Lagoon and played the piano on a raft in Elliott Bay to promote Ivers.
I did not know that.
So,
or if I did, my bad brain has betrayed me to the most maximum degree.
So I'm just saying.
And it worked because Ivers is still a beloved.
Still there. Oh, yeah.
Local fixture to this day. So a bunch of people showed up on the day of the contest. And here are some of the people who did not succeed. It was an open invitation.
What year is this?
This is 1979.
Okay.
And they invited the existing mascots from the city to come. So the Seattle Seahawk was there, but his name was not Blitz yet.
And they also invited. That was his name.
Oh, now you do. And they invited.
I don't like it. I
don't know if you remember this guy, the Wheedle from the Seattle Supersonics to come.
One moment.
Baby boy. Oh my God. I hope they still make kids read Wheedle on the Needle. Do they still make kids read Wheedle on the Needle these days?
I don't think so. I don't think they do.
We're missing our history. But if you don't know about the Wheedle, that was like the back-filled story for what the red light on top of the Space Needle was. It's the Wheedle's nose. And it's a really cute little book.
Look at the dedication.
Dedicated
It
to
says,
Seattle, Washington.
dedicated to Seattle, Washington, a wonderfully warm place for a Wheedle to stay.
My God, I think if I can't actually think about the Wheedle because I might start crying. I'm very emotional right now.
Okay, and it's one of these serendipity press books.
Yes, I was going to say it looks just like those dragons.
Yeah, which is something that that nobody is talking about enough, and
No
maybe
one is
we
talking
should
about that.
do a segment about that.
We'll get into that.
Look at the Wheedle taking a nap on top of the Space Needle.
Cute.
We should get matching tattoos of the Wheedle.
He is so cute. So for a while, the Wheedle was the mascot for the Sonics. He was the mascot for the Sonics. Of course, he was then replaced by Squatch.
Yep.
And Squatch has not been seen since 2007. Oklahoma City Thunder, if you're listening, it's on site.
He's
Anyway.
like Shelly Miscavige.
Exactly.
Where is he?
And Clay Bennett is like David Miscavige.
That's right. Can I really interject really quickly
Yes.
and say that in probably 1998, Carissa and I went to the Space Needle for dinner because I think my parents had a gift certificate to the Space Needle restaurant.
R.I.P. I think. Didn't they get rid of it?
Yeah, it's just like a depressing, empty, like observation area now. It used to be a luxurious rotating restaurant.
Ugh, luxurious.
So it was before we could drive. I think we were sophomores in high school. Our friend Carissa and I went, we got all dressed up. Our parents dropped us off. We went to dinner at the Space Needle. And at that time, and so this was still like the mid to late 90s, I was under the impression that the Wheedle was still sort of
sleeping on the top of the Space Needle. Yeah.
And that he was still like the mascot of the Space Needle, at least. We get in there, the gift shop full of images and plush toys and merch of a weird little guy that they were calling Sneedle, which was just the Space Needle with arms and legs. And they had named him Sneedle. And there was no Wheedle to be found. Now I come to find out we also already had Spacey.
Hello?
Why did we need Sneedle?
And where is the Wheedle? Where is the Wheedle? Okay, well, a new mystery has just dropped in the villa.
That's right.
And it's where the fuck is the Wheedle? Anyway, so here are some of the people who competed to be the Mariners mascot. There was the fish, who they say may have spawned behind the pitcher's mound. Ew, dude. There was the rabbit, identified as Stoyan Tanev, a real-life Ringling Brothers acrobat who did front and backflips in a rabbit costume. But for some reason, he was not chosen. There were several gnomes. So like 10 guys all had the idea to show up as a gnome. Because, it rhymed, kingdom, gnome. I get it. It's,
I like that one, actually. That's better than rabbit. You don't associate a rabbit with the sea,
You don't. And now here's something unfortunate that occurred that day, that weekend.
Okay.
Where they're trying to select a mascot. And yes, there is a photo that we will be posting on our Instagram. Cairo reports there was even a man dressed up as a mascot known only as the Baby, identified as Seattle's Fred Kenny. And I don't know why this man agreed to use his first and last name. The Baby. Lindy.
What?
The Baby crawled on his hands and knees from the left field wall, only wearing a large adult diaper all the way to home plate. When he stood up, the Baby was scraped and bloody from his arms and legs after dragging them across some 350 feet across the Kingdom's AstroTurf. And there's a picture of Fred Kenny in his diaper standing next to a furry dressed as a deer. And so I sent that to you, and then you responded with, yeah, why isn't the Mariners mascot a bloody adult baby? And I was like, does anyone know? Anyone know why we didn't pick that guy to be the mascot for the Mariners? Hey, by the way, Mariners organizations, it's never too late.
Never too late.
Never too late.
Apparently, you can just have a contest at any time. Hey, maybe that's why you guys have never won. It's because Mortimer is
he doesn't wear a diaper.
He doesn't wear a diaper.
So they also had Bruno the bear, Bigfoot, which is interesting because Squatch did eventually make his way over to the Sonics. Herc and Gordy, with no additional information over what that is, about what that is. Pelican Pete, Famey the Kanga. Now, why would you bring a kangaroo to a Pacific Northwest event? Get a grip. Mr. Murray Mouse.
Oh, I like him.
Sunny Deer, and many more paraded their way across the field. And yet the highlight was Spacey the Space Needle, a man wearing stilts with long-legged, like bell-bottom pants that, according to this article, had a 62-inch inseam. Okay, Bella Hadid. Come on, legs. Okay.
I wonder which fine Seattle tailor got to make the special pants.
His wife. It says in the article.
It says.
Yeah, it does. It says. So, that would be my first question, too, as a reporter. Like, who made the pants? So thank you to this reporter for asking the questions. And it turns out that he made the whole costume himself, including the Space Needle head, which sort of like obscures his face. And he's really tall. It's kind of
creepy,
upsetting, actually. He's kind of scary. Because, like, imagine the Space Needle walking.
If it came to life. And it would be kind of like Treebeard.
Yeah. The Space Needle likes to go south because it feels like he's walking downhill. He kind of, you know what it's kind of given? You know that one guy who plays he's like 6'8" and like 100 pounds and he plays all the monsters? Doug Jones.
Yeah.
Kind of giving that a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Shape of Water, except the Space Needle. Anyway, so Spacey won unanimously. Spacey, identified as Brian Keel, only won $100. Although this was in 1979, so I don't know. Somebody can do the math on inflation there, but come on, doesn't really seem fair. Anyway, he was only Spacey for like a year or two because he did not get paid to do this, which is crazy to me. And so he like retired Spacey. And then I guess we had no mascot for like 15 years. And then Mortimer Moose came on the scene. So, the reporter reached out to be like, what happened to the head? He's like, I still have it. I was going to junk it. But then MOHAI, the savior of Seattle history, was like, Brian, no.
Yeah.
We will take the head. So apparently Spacey's head is at MOHAI.
Fred, they also reached out and they also said, Fred, no. But it was too late. Please don't bring us your dirty diaper.
It was too late. He had already left the diaper on the front steps of MOHAI. By the way, if you're not from Seattle, MOHAI is Museum of History and Industry in Seattle, and they keep a lot of like the old signs. So like the famous elephant car wash that we used to have, like all of those old signs typically end up at MOHAI when something cool gets torn down and turned into an Amazon office building made of glass. They take it to MOHAI.
Once again, I pray to my guy, Jesus
Big JC.
Christ, that MOHAI has gotten its hands on the Collins Gold Exchange sign.
Oh, Lord. If they don't have the Collins Gold Exchange sign, we are doomed as a society, as a country, as a nation,
where the timeline
planet.
split. Yeah. That was when we entered the dark timeline, was when somebody lost the Collins Gold Exchange sign. I actually know someone who works at MOHAI and I think listens to the podcast, maybe.
Sir or ma'am?
So maybe she'll come on and let us know about the Collins Gold Exchange.
I should go to MOHAI next time I'm in Seattle. I never
so
go
cool.
there. And they have so much cool stuff,
Yeah. They had like a Seattle fashion rotating exhibit and they put my wedding dress in it, which was so cute. And so
I love that.
I know. And so I got to go walk through like the storage warehouse where they just like have everything. Fun. It was so freaking cool. Like all the stuff that's not on display.
Well, that's on the list of things to see. So we just wanted to share with you. We could have had it all with Spacey. Meanwhile, we're stuck with this moose.
Who's clearly bad luck. Bad luck moose. I think he's, you know what? You know where they do have a moose? Canada.
Sabotage.
I think he's a saboteur.
Oh my God.
Because when's the last time the Mariners were good? Was it pre-moose?
No, we've been good since the moose came. So I don't think we can really hang this at Mortimer's.
All right, Mortimer.
We can't place this completely at Mortimer's feet, And also we don't know what's going to happen.
His hooves.
His hoofaroonies. I don't know how to end this. I just feel like, what a situation.
I know. I have something I want to say about mascots.
Go on.
They're too boring.
I agree.
Make them more weird and more specific. Make them more hyper local. Bring back Spacey the Space Needle.
Well, bring back Spacey the Space Needle, and that's also kind of why I like that salmon run that they just started doing, like in 2024, where they have a race with 4 different salmon. Lots of cities and stadiums do this. For example, in Milwaukee, they have a weenie run, so different brats run around the thing. Here in DC, we have the President's Race, which is George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Teddy Roosevelt, and they race. And people in Seattle might not know this. Teddy (parentheses Roosevelt) was winless in the President's Race for like 6 years straight, never won. And it was like this. The whole city was like, when Teddy wins, balance will be restored to the universe. And he finally won. And I want to say like the next season, the Nationals won the World Series, something like that. It was like pretty close in space and time. I could be misremembering that. I probably am. I don't follow the Nationals that closely. But the whole Teddy thing really like brought us all together as a city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Interestingly, the Mariners are doing something similar, had been doing something similar with the salmon run, where one salmon in particular had no skills and is like kind of cross-eyed and is stupid and like can't run.
Yeah.
Kind of like me, I don't know. I feel like, I can't run either.
Yeah.
Like I'm into it. His name is Humpy. And he's a pink salmon, and he raises, I don't know the other guy's name. I think it's King. And Silver is an IT person at Microsoft. And she's a salmon who runs in this race. Okay. And there's King. He wears a robe with like ermine trimming.
That's what
I
they
assume
wear.
He's a king salmon, right? That's a salmon.
Yes, it is.
And then I believe there's a coho in the mix somewhere too.
Great.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Except it does. So Humpy had never won. And then game 5, and at this point, everyone listening has already heard this. It's so crazy, but I can't get over it. It's the intangibles, Lindy, that really win baseball games. Humpy had never won. It's like middle of the 15th inning of this game that went on for like 5 hours. The Mariners stadium crew was like, let's do it. So they normally do the salmon run during the 7th inning stretch. They're like, okay, we played double that many innings. Let's do the salmon run again. And this time, Humpy's going to win. And he went out there, he ran the race of his life. And for the first time ever, Humpy won the salmon run. 8 minutes later, the Mariners won the game. I'm just saying.
It can't be disputed, Megan.
It can't be disputed.
It can't be disputed.
Get Humpy in there. Let Humpy hit a few. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let Humpy pitch. Okay, we don't know. We don't know what he's capable of.
Let Humpy spawn.
Let him spawn behind first base with the fish and the baby. Okay, because we don't know what those 3 might get up to. All right, could be untouchable for decades to come. But here's the thing. I saw somebody post this. I think it's so funny. If they had run that salmon run again and then the Mariners lost, Humpy would have been killed.
Yeah,
like right there,
right
on the field. So
yeah,
good for him.
Good. I mean, that's how you know it's real.
Mm-hmm. That's how you know superstitions exist.
Yes. You know how they teach you about how the salmon go to the ocean, and then they go up the river.
Mm-hmm. Then they got to come back, yeah.
And then at some point they just start to decompose while they're still alive
Yeah.
and then they die.
Yeah.
Did you know that you could just go see that? I was walking the dog recently, and we were walking by a little stream, and then I was going to let the dog off the leash to play in the water, parentheses, probably why he has bloody diarrhea.
Parentheses, giardia. Yeah.
Because I let him do stuff like that. Then I realized this little stream is full of giant living salmon.
Oh my God.
In like 2 inches of water, like trying to flop their way upstream. And I was like, oh. And so then I had to grab the dog.
Is this environmentally protected? What's happening here?
I was crazy. Like, I thought this happens in like special places.
I did know that, but I only discovered that recently because, they didn't tell us that when we were kids, raising salmon from roe in the hallway of my elementary school.
Yeah, we did that too.
But I started getting TikToks of people being like, check this out. And it's just like a zombie salmon coming back up because they just have to do that one last act, spawn and then die.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, good luck. Oh, it's like a whole 28 days later situation.
It really is.
Rivers. It's crazy.
Sometimes on my favorite TV show, Alone, I feel like they'll be like, I caught a salmon. I finally caught a salmon. And then they'll be like, it's a rotted zombie salmon. I can't eat it.
And they're like emaciated anyways. It's like,
I know.
Not good. Yeah.
We also raised salmon in the lobby of the elementary school, except only one class got to do it, which was
what?
Yeah, this is a big scandal, which is that and if anyone else was at Madrona Elementary School in the 90s, you probably remember that Mr. Daniels' class, or as they were supposed to call him, Kent.
Oh, fuck off.
They didn't have desks. They got to sit on couches and comfy chairs, like in a big circle. They did like totally different curriculum from everyone else. They got to raise the salmon babies, go on a special field trip to like the salmon, release the salmon or whatever. They did like environmentalism and activism. And I think he indoctrinated them all to be vegetarians. But you couldn't just be in his class. He picked who got to be in his class, which seems
like
illegal.
A civil rights violation.
I know.
Because Garfield, and rightfully so, got in trouble when we started doing what they called tennis shoe registration, where you'd go around and sign up in person for the classes that you wanted instead of like submitting a card and hoping the office signed you up for what you wanted. And there was one teacher in particular who wouldn't let black kids into his class, and then he went around and told everybody that. Like, what the fuck, man?
He was like, well, I just don't think they're smart enough.
He's like, well, I don't think they work hard. Like, the hell? Okay, sir? Adolf, what is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. Anyway, for sure that guy is dead now because he was like 90 at the time.
He was a zombie salmon already.
Yeah, he was just one last act of racism before he finally croaked.
But if you were at Madrona in the 90s and you were in Kent's class, reach out. Let me know if it felt if you felt
like one of God's chosen ones, or are you in the hospital now?
Yeah, was that a good experience? Was it kind of strange and inappropriate? I can't tell, because I know that the reason I'm mad about it, I pretend like it's because I care about justice. Really, I feel
you
slighted.
wanted to sit on a couch.
Yeah. And I'm offended that I didn't get picked, that Kent didn't see that I was special.
Asshole.
However, also as an adult, I don't think that certain children should get to be special and certain children are not special.
Yes, and that is baseball. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, I guess we're going to do What You Watching.
Yeah, just real quick.
Okay, we've returned. Speaking of racism
and kings
and Norway, we both, I don't remember the name of this documentary.
It's called Rebel Royals.
Oh God. It is a documentary on Netflix called Rebel Royals. And it's about the Norwegian princess who's an adult now. She's like 50 something, I think. She's got like adult kids as well. But I think was in line for the throne.
Fourth in the line of succession.
But at some point in her adult life, she, like most rich people, realized she didn't have anything to do. So she got really into wellness and like weird breathing exercises or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah. Angels, stuff like that.
Things of this nature. Crystals, of course, goes without saying. Mm-hmm. She comes to America, the capital, the global capital of wellness, and goes to Los Angeles, and she ends up meeting this guy.
Yep. His name is Shaman Durek, and her name is Princess Marta.
Princess Marta. And they meet, and it was like wellness grifters at first sight, man. Like they just like fell in love. You meet the Shaman Durek, and really right away, and I am sorry to say this, but really right away, you think gay.
Yeah.
This man, he gay.
Yeah, he's giving gay. Parentheses complimentary.
Yeah.
And he acknowledges that he's giving gay.
Yeah, and he was giving gay his whole life until he met the princess at some sort of wellness event or something.
Dinner party.
A wellness dinner party where they ate a single almond blossom and then rubbed crystals all over each other's bodies. So
Shaman Durek meets Princess Marta Louise, and he is like, I'm no longer gay. I'm now pan.
Mm-hmm. Hey, to be clear, I don't want to do any sort of erasure to the LGBTQ plus community.
And she's like, you're my boyfriend. He's like, I want to meet your family. She's like, no, you don't.
Big shocker. My father is King Harald of Norway. So we really should back up. Shaman Durek is a black man. And he wears like what you think a shaman from Los Angeles would wear. A lot of robes, a lot of bold prints.
Yep.
He wears a lot of jewelry. Like, I guess I just like want to go back and say, like, if you've ever been to Norway, it's just not something. It's not. He's not wearing a lot of stuff that people in Norway typically wear. Like he's got a vibe that is really antithetical to the entire notion of Norwegianism. And so, he really caused quite a stir when he landed in Oslo in his like cape
I want to say
sunglasses.
I want to add on to what you said. He doesn't just dress like what you think a California shaman would wear. He dresses how you think a gay California shaman.
Like, think of a shaman and then think of him being the gayest person you've ever met.
Yeah. He looks amazing. His clothes are
parentheses complimentary.
He looks incredible always. Yeah. So he's like, I want to meet your family. She's like, I'm not sure you really want to do that. She's like, it's going to be a whole thing because I'm the princess.
Due to. Yeah.
And Norway is very small. There's not that many people there. They don't have that much going on. They love the royal family.
Yeah.
Name 5 Norwegian celebrities.
You can't.
I
know what you're thinking. Oh, that guy from IKEA. That's Sweden.
Yeah.
Try again.
Oh, ABBA. Mm-mm. Sweden.
Still Sweden.
So they really love the royals. They are very attached. So he's like, no, I'm your boyfriend. I want to go. So they go to Norway, and then it just becomes this circus because, and especially when they announce that they're going to get married. And then the Norwegian press loses its mind and starts running all these stories that are like evil, black, scammer, like, stealing white princess,
devil worshipping black man,
gay,
steals virtuous white lady from Norway.
And so the documentary is sort of about this process and how they navigate all that. And and they talk explicitly about something very near and dear to my heart, which is called the law of Jonte,
Mm-hmm.
which is a Norwegian social code that I was raised under
Yeah.
myself as the daughter of a Norwegian. And it's basically like, don't think you're anything special.
Mhm.
Don't think you're better than anyone else.
You're
You
one
don't-
of a million guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't know any better than anyone else. You're not smarter than anyone
It
else.
really is more about your contributions are about the whole. Your
Right.
contributions are not about you and like bringing benefit to yourself. It's
Right.
really antithetical to the entire concept of Americanism, which it cuts both ways. That brash talk your shit Americanism is when it's good, it means we're creating good art. It means that like we're responsible for like global culture. Like most of the cool things that exist in culture are because of Americans and because of Black Americans in particular.
Yes.
Like that's what makes life good and interesting is that belief in yourself that like I do have the capability to make something fucking cool and interesting that lots of people are going to like. That's the good part of having a culture or a society that operates that way. The bad version of that is that we're so desperate to like hold people up as geniuses that a man will say, I invented a Tesla when really all he did was like invest in a company based on the money he got from his father's emerald mine. And then we all call him a genius. It totally cuts both ways, but so does the law of Jonte. On the one hand, it's like, yes, some of that seems so great where it's like, I do want to live in a society where primarily we're concerned about not just ourselves, but our neighbors and making sure our community is cared for instead of
Right.
like this sort of like savage individualistic society where you can all go get fucked as soon as I get paid. Like I don't give a shit about the rest of you. But what cuts the other way for Norway is that it's like, name one famous Norwegian. Ingmar is from Sweden.
Me.
Yeah, it's just you know?
No, yeah, it's like
Like
in
Norway isn't pushing the culture forward in some way that is like pertinent or relevant to other people, whereas like Americans do that in ways that are very evil and bad. Also, I'm not saying we're good, okay,
Right.
but
No, I mean, I really believe, I love the law of Jonte. I
Mhm.
think it's a beautiful notion that the individual is never more important than the collective. That is what I believe.
yeah,
That's why they have free education and free
Right.
healthcare, and we don't.
right.
However, like you said, like when we were there in 2012, Aham played a like sat in with a band, and I'll never forget. Aham like stood up and took a trumpet solo, like a blistering jazz solo,
Face melter.
and everyone in the band looked at him like, "What the fuck is that guy doing?"
Yeah.
Like it was like rude that
Yeah.
he had like done
Yeah.
a good solo.
Yeah, it's like rude to be the best at something,
Right.
you know?
So anyway, it's really interesting. And so Shaman Durek does not like this.
He doesn't like it, but also it's just like it's constraining his very nature. And then on top of all of that, there is obviously a lot of racism and homophobia going on here as well.
Yeah, just as a human being and as an American, he bristles. But then also I think who he is, like the persona that he has chosen to inhabit and like the oppression that he has overcome.
Mhm.
He's like, I don't want to hide. I don't want to
Right.
hide any of this. Who are you to tell me that I need to hide, that I need to like wear normal clothes and not be proud of who I am when I had to fight really hard to be proud of who I am? Because anyway, I think it's a really interesting conflict. So, okay. So the Norwegians, a lot of Norwegians, I guess I'm told by my mother, are very mad about Shaman Durek and Princess Marta. And there's a whole kerfuffle where eventually she like, removes herself from royal responsibilities. So she is no longer in the line of succession because I'm going to say blatantly that people don't want there to be a possibility of a Black European king.
Right.
You know, if somehow Marta's older brother and both of her parents died, then Shaman Durek would be the king of Norway and people can't have it. But like, I was told that like, oh, this is a documentary about a scammer who's like taking over the Norwegian royal family or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went into it primed to be like, oh, great, a scam documentary. I came out of it like, I like that guy.
Here's how I felt. Is he a scammer? Absolutely. Gay for sure. Racism, also yes. Also yes. It's all of those things. It's like, I don't necessarily think that the scam is that he's scamming Princess Marta. I think they do love each other. I don't think he's scamming her. I think he is a grifter, no question. Yeah. There's no such thing as a shaman, and crystals don't work. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not real.
The scam is that during COVID, he was selling people magic medallions that he said would cure COVID. That's the scam.
The scam is the wellness industry.
Exactly. Like, the scam is not on Princess Marta.
No.
Because she also runs like Angel.
She is also a wellness scammer.
Exactly.
So my takeaway was, to the extent that I think that like maybe my eyebrows are raised, I feel like he met her. They had a genuine connection probably. And I think he felt like this would be good for my primary scam, which is crystals and wellness stones.
When you watch it, the shit that they went through in the press, I can't quite buy that would be worth it. That would be worth a bump in your COVID medallion sales. I don't know.
We live in a weird world where like the only way to make money is to have people paying attention to you. And there's a lot of people who genuinely don't care if the attention they get is positive or negative.
That's true.
You and I are a little bit more soft in that regard. I want to be beloved. I don't want people up my ass about something I said or did, though. To me, it's like, I'm not even mad about it because he's just like a typical American. He's like an American entrepreneur. How am I going to be mad at that?
I don't get the impression that he's trying to trick me into thinking that he's somebody else. Like, he probably really believes that he has a magic medallion.
Oh yeah, I think he believes all that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
The kind of scammer that I hate is where they're trying to trick you. This is just like an eccentric guy, and you know what? All kinds of stuff's happening with people's idea of gender these days, Megan. I think that people are more expansive.
Who could say? I'm being a little poopy pants about it, but it's just funny because they talk to Marta's kids, adult kids, and her daughters. And by the way, God, I love Norwegians so much. I really do. Because, you know, if this was an American family, I think the family probably would have been pretty well and fractured by the entry of this man into their lives. Her kids are just like, he's so funny. I thought he was gay.
The kids
and then they just kind of like smile into the camera. And this genuine beaming smile of, I thought he was gay.
That's part of what makes it
so gracious.
That's part of what makes it hard to feel negatively toward the relationship. It's like her kids love him.
Yeah.
He seems very kind of dedicated to them and to the family. And I honestly, the part with King Harald is so like,
it is nice. Harald and the Queen, I think they kind of were taken aback by the circus that the shaman, and reasonably so, but Norway's never seen anything quite like it since the 2002 Oddness family reunion, of course. But Norway's never seen anything quite like it. And so I think Marta and the shaman both felt like they weren't doing enough to defend them. And then sometimes they would make these comments that felt a little bit like, oh, well, he's learning and he'll get there. Like those sorts of things, like kind of like more of an assimilation type of narrative.
He'll learn to be like us.
Yeah. And like to a degree, if you're marrying into sort of like a quasi head of state or an actual head of state's family, like, yeah, you should probably learn like the traditions of the country. Cause it's not just like I'm marrying a Norwegian. It's like I'm marrying the princess of this nation. And the shaman really is like, I'm not doing that. And eventually King Harald was like, the racist stuff you're putting in the paper is pretty fucked up and you should stop. Which is more than Prince Charles ever did. So
the king and queen were not helping him out particularly. They were very hurt. And so then it's just very sweet. She and Shaman Durek talked to the king and queen and they were like, you're hurting us. This sucks. Yeah. And then the king and queen were like, oh, can you give us a lesson about racism? And then they like taught them about racism. And then they were like, oh no, which is kind of cute. I mean, it's like, how are you? Sorry, you're the king and you don't know what racism is?
I mean, but it's Norway. So, you know, they barely even have brunettes there.
The only part where I started to feel like an uptight Norwegian woman was when he was like, I want to pick out everyone's clothes.
Oh my God. Yes, me too. My inner Ingrid came out. I was like, that's never going to fly.
Because he wanted to have like a cohesive aesthetic at the wedding. So he wanted, and Marta was like, you can't pick out the king's clothes.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that you don't think any of this is real.
Yeah,
but
that goes beyond normal Americanism into something a little bit more weird, into something else.
Gay.
Parentheses, gay. Parentheses, pansexual. I'm sorry, man. I should be more open-minded. It's just funny, and it's kind of a. You all should watch it and let us know if what you think is going on here. Just a standard love grift, or if it's a little bit more complicated than that. By the way, even grifters can be victims of racism. So I think there's no question that he was the victim of some racist attacks in the press.
I don't think the wellness industry is good. I do think it's all a grift.
just to clear that up.
Just to be clear. But if you're selling anti-COVID medallions to Gwyneth Paltrow,
good for you.
It's not like the most destitute and marginalized that you're.
Well, that's
exploiting.
my favorite. That's my favorite kind of scam is where everyone involved is obnoxious.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to feel bad for anybody. It's like the scammer's annoying. The people that they did scam are annoying. That I loved that Theranos scam so much because she sucked, and the people she was fleecing for investments into her company were the world's worst people.
Yeah.
You guys. This woman scammed Henry Kissinger. Maybe we should let her out of jail.
Yeah.
Time served. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's that could happen.
I was watching this documentary and I was like, they seem really happy.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah.
And everybody that they interview from Shaman Durek's life and Marta's life, they love him. Like, he seems like he's actually a very warm, loving person with some kooky ideas, who maybe, is a very perceptive, the way that like someone who's a great psychic, quote unquote, where it's like you're an empathetic, perceptive person.
It's empathy. Mm-hmm.
And that's actually a good quality. And so if you are helping people who come to you for help and they're finding value in that, fine. I don't know. Leave him alone. He's not even trying to be the king anymore. He's just, they live in a regular house.
I don't think he's even scamming the Norwegian government out of anything. It's fine. Yeah. I don't know. I get the sense from the daughters that they're just sort of like, I'm happy for my mom. This is great. This is fine. Whatever. It's not like he's there. They don't need to be around him if they don't want to. Everything's fine. Whatever. They ride their little horsies around and call it a day.
There's this other part where when the press was really going after them, where they dug up this old podcast that he did.
Yes. Where he was like, I should have never sucked that guy's dick. Wow, we really buried the lead on the leaked tapes, by the way. And there was this whole subplot about how he was having sexy massages and stuff, and so
with his healing clients. And then the press was like, sleeping with his patients, unethical. And I said,
he's not a doctor.
He's not a real doctor.
And who cares?
He's not a real doctor. He's just a guy. That's just your friend that you went to talk to about your alien DNA. He also says that he's part lizard and part alien.
He did say that. The voicemails leaked while they were together for sure, but whatever.
She doesn't care. He wasn't even embarrassed about it. He was like, yeah. I said that on a podcast.
I certainly did. I certainly did say I'm half alien. I don't think I like him as much as you do. I think he's kind of obnoxious, actually. He's definitely kind of like your classic American influencer who like there's no need for you to be on your wedding day taking selfies in the street and signing autographs. Like that, it to me is kind of like the quintessential influencer of the 21st century, that kind of vibe. Again, I don't think that means that he doesn't love Princess Marta. But I think he's unique to Norway, and that's why they're all freaked out,
Yes. To be clear, I don't want to hang out with them.
Oh, no.
I think well, maybe I do.
It'd be kind of fun for like 30 minutes. And then I'd be like, I cannot be around you.
I do want to hang out with him. He's definitely like a blowhard.
He just has that, like Americans we have in our DNA, we're going to talk our shit. That's the law of America, is talk your shit. And a bunch of really obnoxious people do it. And a lot of less obnoxious people do it. But that's kind of like fundamentally who we are as a society here. And that's what he's like. And I think sometimes when we bristle at that kind of behavior, it is racially coded. Like, yeah, we tend to get more annoyed when people of color talk their shit in the same way like Elon and Donald Trump talk their shit. And we consider that to be good business.
I want to say one last thing, and then we gotta go. But I think that part of the issue in Norway and other places, but Norway is small. My mom always says that of the Scandinavian countries, Norway is the most country and unsophisticated and kind of like provincial, in like a very sweet way. Mm-hmm. And people like it that way. They like that it's quiet and small and kind of unassuming. And so I think that there is a feeling of grief when traditional cultural signifiers start to lose their grip, or what I mean, start to fade away. Or I can tap into that personally, and I can. It's like, oh, of course, there's something charming about the idea of going to Norway and everyone's wearing their bunad and they're, there's something romantic about turning back the clock to a time when every place was not a global place,
Right. Well, and that is like literally why Bake Off is the most popular show like in the world, is because it's like, doesn't this remind you of pre-World War II? And everyone's like, yes, even it just taps into something. Right. And it's like, I don't even have any connection to England or World War II, and yet I fall for it as well. There's something very calming and cozy about like old gelatin molds.
Exactly. I think that that's a lot of what's going on, is just simply that people are afraid of change and people mourn change, especially when the world is getting scarier and scarier. But I want to posit that is part of what has gotten us here. Yeah. And like, that's literally what conservatism means. It means resisting change. And so while I can again emotionally tap into that feeling, and I get it, you gotta let things change. Yeah. And I don't think it's a bad thing for the Norwegian royal family to have a little shakeup,
I think we have to end this episode because my children are losing their fucking minds. But I hope you all watch this documentary and write in and let us know what you think, if you think we're off base about the shaman or what. 703-829-0003, or you can email us at textmeback@gmail.com. As you can hear, Kevin...
What's going on over there?
Kevin rejects modernity. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to embrace tradition.
With the fastest closeout you've ever heard in your life.
Closeout you ever heard in your life. And here it comes. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show that went on for 5,000 hours. Did you like it? If you did, subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/textmeback.
Imagine if we had a whole other segment we were going to do.
My God, I would have died. Also, like, my jaw hurts just from talking. Yeah. I'm disintegrating live on the podcast.
I can't even go lie down. I got to go do stuff after this.
After this, I am going to be stressed out and staring at the ceiling and thinking about the Mariners. Again, if you have the power of time travel, give me a call. Let me know what happened. Okay? I want to know. I give up my personal cell phone. No, if for the love of all that is holy and in the name of a benevolent God, we say, go Mariners.
Woohoo! Bring back Spacey.
Bring back Spacey. Mwah. See you next week.